Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Michelle Solis from This Must Be Ink, and it is Friday night, February 2nd, 2024. And we are here going to do a card tonight. So I am a independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up, and I live in Seekonk, Massachusetts. Welcome to my Friday night live workshop. I'm sorry, Stamp and Sip workshop. So tonight I haven't been sipping along with everybody in the last couple of weeks because I have been kind of under the weather and not feeling well. But tonight I'm back, and what am I sipping tonight? I am sipping some Appalachian Sippin' Cream banana pudding. This is the flavor of my sippin' cream tonight. So cheers, everybody. I don't know what you guys are sipping on, but that's what I've got. Okay, so tonight we're going to work on a Valentine card. Let me, oh, sorry, going the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so let's get started here. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the card that I was going to show you. And basically, I'm going to show you a technique tonight with the Brayer, using the new Brayer from Stampin' Up. So I created this card with this designer series paper here. It's a piece from a pack called Well Adored. 1 second. I would double think myself. Most Adored. Sorry. That didn't sound right. Well Adored. Okay, so Most Adored. It has a number of different, I think it's got 6 different patterns. So this is the pattern that we're using tonight. As you can see, it's white, and it's got some foil details to it. So these are hearts and flowers. So this is the piece I'm going to be using tonight for my card. These are some other pieces that are in the pack as well. This one with the slash marks, and this one with another one with hearts. So I was going to show you this technique. We'll do it a few times. I'm going to color all of these pieces of paper tonight in order to make some cards, and then I'll show you some samples that I did with some other pieces. But this was achieved by doing using ink from an ink pad with the brayer directly to this piece of paper. And basically you can change these to be whatever color you would like them to be for your card. On this one, I did real red. Tonight I'll be using sweet sorbet for this one. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to practice a little bit on these 2 pieces. So what I'm going to need is my brayer, and then I'm going to need the colors that I want to use. Let's see, I really had not picked a color. So let's do some Lost Lagoon on this one. And then for another Valentine, how about some bubble baths? I don't think I did bubble baths. Did I before? No. Okay, so I haven't done a pink, so we'll do bubble bath on this one with the hearts. Alrighty. So what I'm going to use is my glass mat. So I'm going to put my glass mat up here on my desk so that when I use my brayer, I don't make a mess on my paper, because what happens then is I get it all over myself. Now my desk is not even. I don't know if you can see, but my mat wants to tip. So I just put a little book underneath one corner so that I can make it even, because my desk is tippy. All right. So I'm going to, let's start with the lighter color first. We're going to do the pink first. So I've got my piece of designer series paper here. I need my ink color, which is going to be Bubble Bath. I need my brayer. And then I am going to need my my chamois, which is my regular chamois that I use for my stamps. And I'm also going to use the chamois cloth that came with my glass mat studio. So I'm using that as well. And then I forgot my silicone mat. Oh, here's my silicone mat. I'm going to put my silicone mat right at the corner here so that it holds my, you can't see it up there. I'll put it here. Because this doesn't slip around. So I'm going to put my ink pad right on there because it's going to hold it better for me. So I don't have to hold it with my fingers. Okay, so what we'll do for this technique is we're going to open our ink pad. And then let me just tell you about the Brayer. The Brayer has these two little stands, these metal stands on either side. When it's standing on your desk, to keep the roller off the desk, you put those stands facing down. Be careful and make sure that you flip it over to go onto your ink pad so you don't gouge your ink pad. So then we're going to bring this down here. We're going to roll right over our ink pad. And you want to just roll in one direction. This is going to be hard to see, but there is ink coming onto my roller. It's a light color, so it's hard to see. Then what we're going to do is just roll right over our paper. And what I do is I start off the paper first, right here, and then roll onto the paper. So we're going to just continue to do that until we get the color that we want. So I'm going to flip it around and then start off and roll on. So we're just going to roll in one direction, and we're going to continue doing that until we get the entire paper covered in the color that we want. Okay, so I can roll this way a bit. Flip it around and go this way. Okay. I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of a white spot right there, or not really white, but a lighter spot. So I'm going to go right there. Make sure I get that. Flip it around. This side. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? That it's picked up the bubble bath color? I do feel like I have still a light spot right here. I don't know why that particular spot doesn't seem like it wants to pick up the color. Oh, that's better. Okay, can you see now that we've got this paper? Hey, Lorraine. So we've got this paper. Hi, Kathy and Courtney. Thanks for joining. So we've got the paper now covered with the bubble bath ink. Now I can do this even darker if I'd like, but I think I'm going to stop at this point. It's now at this stage, it's going to be a little bit damp with your ink, so you don't want to really touch it right now. We're going to set it aside for it to dry a little bit. And then any spots that I feel are light, like maybe right here, I can cover. I would just cover with a sentiment. This technique is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a perfectly flat color. It's going to have a little bit of, I don't know, it's going to not really mottled, but it's not going to be a perfect color like a piece of paper that was dyed a color. Okay. All right. So that's it with the bubble bath. I'm going to set that aside for a few minutes. Then to clean my brayer, I'm going to take my regular chamois and I'm going to do just what I did with my ink, I'm going to just roll it onto my chamois to clean it and get all that ink off. And then my mat, my glass mat, I'm going to use my the chamois that came with it to clean the ink off of my glass mat so that I can move on and do a different color. Okay, and then depending on how much moisture your chamois has in it, if you've got moisture left behind, you want to use a paper towel or a microfiber cloth just to make sure you're dry before you move on to the next project and you put your paper down. Just make sure it's dry. All right, so we're going to do this one in Lost Lagoon. And since that's a little bit darker color, it might be easier to see it coming onto the brayer. Okay, so we're going to take our brayer, which should be clean now. Make sure that you're, again, with your little stands up and roll it into your ink pad in one direction. And then starting off the paper, roll onto your paper. Kind of like painting with a roller, like on a wall. You can see where there's some ink left on your roller, so you can roll that over the spots that need ink. I like this piece with the little splashes. I'm kind of targeting where my ink is on my roller onto the paper where the ink needs to go. So this way, with your brayer, you can make any DSP a different color. Okay, so there's the Lost Lagoon. I think that looks really good. Now it's going to be a little lighter when it dries. Close this up so you can see that. That one. That looks pretty in Lost Lagoon. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside as well. And again, I'm going to clean my brayer. Just going to roll it onto my chamois to get the Lost Lagoon off. Make sure I did do that. If you have any little spots, you can just rub it with the chamois. You make sure you get all the green off. Okay, and then we're going to again wipe our mat. This just wipes right off. So I can just keep going. Okay, just make sure it's dry. Oh, it's still a little damp right there. Okay, then this last one for the card, I lost it. Oh, here it is. For the card, we're going to do this one with the hearts and flowers. Full disclosure, did you see how I did this one? The hearts are going the wrong way. I cut the paper wrong. I noticed that when I went to take a picture of it finally. I didn't notice it the entire time I was working on it. Oh well, it's okay. Still pretty. Thanks, Courtney. I'm glad you like the technique. I think it's amazing. I've been playing with my brayer a bunch. Okay, so we're going to do the sweet sorbet here. This is a really pretty color too. I don't use this color a lot. I think the last time I used this color was on Valentine's last year. Okay, so there's this one in the sweet sorbet. So pretty. Okay, so we're going to clean this up one more time. And we're going to clean our glass mat one more time. You know how stubborn red can be, but on glass, it just comes right off. No staining. Perfect. Okay, so then we can put our ink away. Put our tools away. Oh my gosh, that was a crash. Okay. Put our tools away. I need a bigger table. And then we can start our card. Okay, so on our card, if you've got one of these designer series paper that has big foil areas, if you see that there's some ink on them, you can use a paper towel or your microfiber cloth to get the ink off of that the foil area, just so you don't get it on your fingers, because if it's not dry on that foil, you're going to get it on your fingers, and then you're going to get it on your project. Okay, so we're going to just do this one lightly, just to make sure that I don't have any red that's going to get on my fingers. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to create our card. So I've got for my card base half of an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that I have scored in half at 5.5. So we're going to do a tent fold card. And the other thing I really love about this glass mat is that it's such a nice, hard, even surface that when you score on here, it just does the nicest score lines. I didn't realize the difference. When I first scored the first time on here, I was like, wow, it really makes a difference having a nice, flat, even surface. Okay, so we're going to adhere our designer series paper to the front. I'm going to use some liquid glue to do that. Yeah, I love the Lost Lagoon too. I think that's one of my favorite colors. I almost thought I had this upside down again, but no, I got it right. Got it right. Okay, so there's the front. And we just need to work on our little decorations. For the card, I used one of the circles from the Stylish Shapes dies. I used I think the second largest circle for that. And then this little envelope came from the Sending Love dies. It's got this wonderful little die that's going to cut out an envelope shape for you. It looks like this when it is cut out. And then I used this little die that cuts out multiple hearts for the little heart on the envelope. Okay. Now I know you're all going to ask me, where did all these little sprigs come from? And those are old. But I happened to find these the other day, this little envelope that I had with all this old ephemera stuff. So I thought, well, let me use these on Valentine's because this is perfect for Valentine's, right? But really, what you just need is some foil. I can't even open this. You need some foil. Oh, because it's not stuck like that. You just need some foil paper and just use some little cutouts or from some little dies that have little sprigs is what you're going to need. So I just had a couple of those. We could use these little ferns this time. There's a little fern. And I just have bits and pieces left over. So we'll just use some of those. Because I hate to throw stuff away. I feel like, I paid for it. I got to make a card, use it up. All right, so we've got those little pieces. And then I have a little piece here for my little insert for my envelope that is about 1.5 by 1.25. And then I have a little piece for my sentiment. Okay, so those are all my pieces. So we're going to glue this onto the front of the card. That's our first step. Just going to glue that right in the middle. And then we're going to put together our little envelope. This comes with little score lines here, so it's very easy to put together. I'm just going to score on those little lines. And I'm going to leave it open like that. So we just need to put some glue right here on the edges to keep that closed. And that will be where we put our little letter. And then we're going to use one of these little hearts. And this is where your take your pick tool really comes in handy. So you can pick that up with your take your pick tool so that you can put some glue on it. And then you can put it right on your envelope, right where you want it. There you go. Okay, so now all we have to do is make our little letter that goes inside and our sentiment. And again, I'm going to use Sweet Sorbet. And I'm using a sentiment from Lasting Joy. Lasting Joy stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set. I'm using Always in My Heart. Which would be really cute, not only for a Valentine, but for any card for somebody that you're missing or that's far away. Always. And in my heart, upside down. Let's go on this side. Okay. And that's it. Just clean this off. Just forget to clean the red off and then it stains even more. So let's clean that up right away. Okay, so then we just need our scissors, which I can't find. Oh, I got them. Just cut our little sentiment here. And we're going to put our little note in our envelope. I think I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue so it doesn't come out. Although you certainly could make it come out. You could put a secret message in there. All right, and then we're just going to add that to the front of our card with some dimensionals. Get that right in the middle here. And then our little sprigs, let's use this one with the 2, just are going to go right behind the envelope here. So I'm just going to put a couple dots of glue them behind. And then we'll use maybe this one. I like this one better. It's got a higher weight. Let's just cut off this little piece right there. Yeah, that'll be cute. Okay, so we'll just put some glue, oops, on here. Get that under there. Perfect. Then we just need our little sentiment, which I'm going to make a little smaller. And I'm going to use oh, I might have made that too small. Let me see if this is even going to fit. Oh, yeah, just barely. Got my little dimensional there, and I'll put some glue on this end because it'll be off balance because this has got dimensionals under here. So we want that to balance. There we go. And there we have our Valentine, but I forgot some bling. So let's find some bling. We've got some adhesive backed sparkle gems, which have got this gold sparkly. I think that will be perfect. I haven't even opened these yet. Okay. Oh, these are like little, I thought they were like glittery, but they're kind of like a resin dot with glitter in it. Pretty. And we have 2 sizes. I can't decide. This is always the hardest part, I think, is trying to figure out where the bling goes. Let's go down. So many decisions. Okay, so I always like to do 3. That's kind of a thing. I think it's more pleasing to the eye for things. Oh, I have a little boo-boo there, so I'm going to cover that up. I think it's more pleasing to the eye to have uneven numbers. So we've got those right there. Okay, odd numbers, not uneven numbers. Okay, so we've got those two. That's our Valentine, and just doing our paper, our designer series paper with our brayer. Here are those other 2 sheets. You can see the bubble bath lightened up quite a bit once it got dry. And once it dried, you really can't see. There's just a tiny hint of a light spot right there, but it's really not that noticeable. I just know it because I knew it was already there. And here's the Lost Lagoon. So pretty. Really pretty. I'm looking forward to making some cards with those. All right, so here are the ones. And then let me show you the ones that I did while I was playing with this. I did this one with another piece of Most Adored. This is the piece that's got the like swirl. That always reminds me of water. I don't know why. So I grabbed my turtles. This is the sea turtle set. And again, some more of my ephemera that I had left over and did that one with the sea turtles. I cut this piece 5 1/4 by, no, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then I ripped it, a V out of here before I put it down on my card front. So there's that one. Then I did this one with another piece of this Most Adorned paper. This time I paired it with the Irresistible Blooms set. This was in Bubble Bath, and this is Soft Seafoam that I did here. So I think that one came out really pretty. I haven't figured out what sentiment to go on that one yet. And then I think my favorite is, here, let's get these in here. My favorite's this one, I think. Again, the Most Adored paper. This is with Daffodil Delight. So I just made the plaid with the Daffodil Delight. And then my little truck in Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy background there. And then this is another little piece of that ephemera, but you could put a little stamped sun back there, would be really cute. Okay, so those are my cards for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. And just a little reminder, this glass mat is part of the join offer right now. So if you have a wish list and you're wanting some items, then if your list is more than $100, you can do the joining offer and get $125 worth of merchandise for $99 with free shipping, and they will give you this glass mat as your joining bonus. And if you have no need for the glass mat, then you can get an additional $30 worth of merchandise. So you'd get $155 of merchandise for $99. Okay, and then also a reminder that it is still Celebration. So I don't know if you have a catalog. Do I even have a catalog? I don't know where mine is. But if you don't have a catalog, I'm happy to send you a Celebration catalog. But you can view all of the things that are available for Celebration online. And for a $50 purchase, you'll receive a free item. And then for every increment of $50, you receive a free item. And they've just added some more products to that. So there's a lot more to choose from. If you've already gotten some things, you might want to take a look to see what else they added. So a couple things I might have to have. All right, so that's it for me. And what new sale is Celebration? Oh yes, new Celebration. Yes, we just talked about that. And they added some more kits as well. So actually, one of the best deals for Celebration is a yearly Paper Pumpkin subscription. So it's a great way to get stamps and inks. You get a little mini ink spot with each paper pumpkin and a free stamp set with each paper pumpkin kit. And you can keep them and use them over and over again. It's one of the best ways to get your collection of stamps and inks going. So year-long subscription would get you some Celebration points as well. Okay, so that's it for me tonight. I am going to go, and tomorrow is summer camp registration begins at Audubon, so I got to go to bed early tonight so I can get up super bright and early and make sure that that is working properly. I am very stressed over it. So I'm going to have more sips of my banana pudding tonight. You guys take care. Hope everybody is well. Stay crafty, my friends. We'll see you next week.